Hi everyone, this is Andrea Dombecki and this is Angel Life Makeover. You could reach me at angelfairyhealing.com. Alright, so I'm super excited to be here today bringing in some Angel Enlightenment downloads, and that is today's theme, Angel Enlightenment. And I love that word enlightenment, and I feel like it's the closest thing I could define to the feeling that I've been going through, the way the angels have been teaching me to self-heal, is to just wake up in the present moment, even kind of time travel, or life review, and go back to places in my life where maybe I struggled or I had a lot of questions, and then bring this enlightened consciousness. And so what does that mean? To me, it means waking up in the moment, waking up to our higher self, to a greater state of our true reality, our greater connection. In times in our life when we were in a state of struggle or unconsciousness, disconnected from the higher self, from the truth, from the peace, from intuition, and going back to those places. So the way we use this, and I want to just call in everybody's angel guides to kind of bring them this energy of angel enlightenment so we can understand the message that they're giving. It's about waking up. And I see that light coming into the third eye, the crown, the higher evolutionary chakras, healing the connection with the higher self, and know that any suffering that we have experienced in this life was a disconnection from our true state, right? And they call that so many things, right? Living in heaven on earth, Christ consciousness, the divine mind. And I know I've experienced this higher state of aligned consciousness, and I also know what it feels like to be disconnected from that, to be in struggle, to be in fear, to be in conflict with reality, with energy, with people, with circumstances. And so I really wanted to share this beautiful download I was receiving from the angels about enlightenment in the present moment. We're going to practice that together. So let's open our hearts, release our mind, and we're going to practice angelic enlightenment right where we are. We're going to set that intention and bring that in, illuminate our being, illuminate our third eye with this beautiful light, and we're going to wake up right where we are. We're going to wake up to our highest state of reality, to our higher state of perception. It's not about fighting to heal. It's not about changing anything. It's just about going up higher to that higher perception, to our enlightened self that already exists, right? The work is already done. The higher self is already there. When we do spiritual purification, when we meditate, when we do breath work, when we do clearing, when we change our environment, we go to beautiful places in nature, we kind of shed those false senses of ourself and we connect with that beautiful enlightened self. So we're setting that intention today, and we're bringing this healing to you, and this is something you can intend to do, you can practice doing. And I want to talk about two ways that we can practice that together. And one is right now, wherever you are at, to just bring in that intention. I'm looking at my life. I'm looking at my future. I'm looking at my past. I'm looking at all my challenges from this higher state of enlightenment. I'm resting in enlightenment. I'm perceiving from enlightenment. I'm embracing and owning enlightenment as my truest state of being. And I felt like enlightenment was the closest word I could find to this state of being that the angels have been bringing in for everybody. So bringing in this beautiful illumination of enlightenment, we're bringing it as a download. You can see it as a white light in your aura, in your crown chakra, in your third eye, in your state of perception. We're just opening up this higher state of perception, and then maybe we're starting to travel along the timeline of our whole life and all the places we've been, and we're perceiving it as our enlightened self, as our self that's woke up, spiritually awake, right? There's another word for it, that we've woken up, that we have had a spiritual awakening, that we have seen the light, and we no longer walk this world feeling like we are just a reaction of our circumstances, but instead we remember who we are, right? And I think who we are is really undefinable, right? We are a being of light consciousness here to express, and we are empowered, we are enlightened, we are super intelligent. So we're connecting with all those parts of ourself, right? Our super intelligence, our super knowing, our super eternal self. We're using all these words to kind of trigger the DNA, to trigger the spirit to remember, right? The enlightened self, the infinite knowledge, the infinite knowing, the higher self, connecting with that. So I want you to travel throughout your life to any time where maybe you were really in the dark and you were struggling, and bring that perception of the enlightened self to that. It's a very grounding, centering energy. It's a self-mastery energy. And I'm really excited to share this with all of you because it's been coming through and I kept getting the nudge. Do this as a podcast. Share this energy. And we're practicing together to be centered in that higher state of our enlightened self. We're seeing with love. We're perceiving with love. We're perceiving with mastery of grounding, mastery of our intelligence, of our knowing, of our intuition, of our truest state of being, right? And things are changing so fast. I feel like the new way of healing is to just uncover, remember, the work is already done. You are just trying to go back to who you really are that you've forgotten about, right? The more we live in human reality, the more we kind of absorb states of consciousness that might be lies, that may be suffering, that may kind of mimic things that are not who we truly are, right? They're like facades. So we want to remove all those facades and bring in the light of the true being. So I'm super excited about this new energy coming to the planet. Call in your angels to help you feel this beautiful energy. I feel these beautiful white cosmic archangel beings helping us to bring in this energy. I feel like they're the angels of enlightenment working with humans right now. And it was interesting because I think this is a reaction to any kind of thing maybe you've been perceiving about mind control or anything that we kind of think's happening on the planet. I feel that humanity is awakening, and the more we remember, the more we just kind of rise above any level of feeling like we are controlled by anything outside of us that does not have our well-being in mind, right? Please allow anything that is for your highest good to come into your consciousness, but we are not allowing anything that does not have good intentions to affect our consciousness, right? So we're kind of doing that energy shielding right now too, that in our enlightened mastered self, that we only allow things that have the best intentions for us. And with that said, I want to do a little more activating today, activating of true belonging, true soul family, true path. And I think this is really helping those of us who are struggling maybe with career path, with finding where to live or where we belong. And I know this is a great source of suffering. And I've had different aspects of this throughout my life, right? But we have to trust the process that it's unfolding. And that our ultimate goal is, of course, to have all the things that we require. But in the meantime, we have to honor where we're at, the work we need to do in the cycle of our life, and perceive that from an enlightened perspective. So we're bringing in celebration, we're bringing in gratitude, we're bringing in wisdom, we're bringing in enlightenment. And we're going to stop focusing on what's wrong, and we're going to start focusing on that everything is always right and it's always unfolding, and life is a beautiful adventure, and we are whole no matter what our circumstances are. We are enlightened right where we at. No one can affect us psychologically. Circumstances can't crush us. We are centered in our beautiful enlightenment, our true source, our true kind of stem or trunk, our core being. I think that like a tree, like the core center of self, plugging into that. So we're activating this beautiful angelic enlightenment, working with the angels of enlightenment and calling that energy in. You could use another word for it if you feel more comfortable with another word. I'm really just bringing that in as an energy download because it's something that's been helping me, and I think it's an evolutionary tool right now because I kept hitting the edge of consciousness, right? I kept hitting the edge of feeling limited. And then I was like, how do I go further, angels? And then they'd kind of touch my third eye, and then I'd open up new states of expanded consciousness. Remember, we are trapped only within our own mind, only within our own consciousness. When we activate enlightenment, we are seeing beyond all limitation into the infinite. And we activate infinite knowing, infinite awareness, infinite intuition, and that's exciting. This is an evolutionary code, an ascension code that's coming in right now, and it's important to let go of the old ways of being. Lots of surrendering, lots of letting go of like the old, even tools that used to work for us, because we are changing so rapidly. And it could feel sad, right? Because we're letting go of all these belief systems and ways that we've coped. But we're also giving that up to get something even better. And this is trusting the process of life. It's kind of like the butterfly, the moth, the snake shedding the skin. We're going through change, metamorphosis, and we're trusting the process. And the angels are with us. Let's take a moment to bless one another, sending lots and lots of angels to you, blessing you with angelic enlightenment. I hope this podcast helped you today to connect with the angels of enlightenment and bring some more mental peace and energy healing to your existence. I'm Andrea Dombecki from angelfairyhealing.com. You can find me in my Facebook group, Angel Fairy Healing with Andrea Dombecki, and I recently came back on TikTok. I'm on TikTok again and Instagram, and you can always join my newsletter. I'm kind of in transition with my newsletter. I've been taking a little break from classes, but I do have a fairy membership opening soon, and I hope to do an angelic karmic healing class, as karmic healing has been really helping me in all aspects of life. All last year, since last year, I've been seeing so much karma healing coming up. The files of the earth have been coming up, and I've been really getting some great headway with karmic healing. So I hope to make that into a class for everybody. And so have a great day, everyone, and thank you for listening.